You were 10 years old the first time you made sure everyone else had eaten before you sat down. You didn't think about it, you just did it. You checked the plates, filled the cups, wiped the counter, and by the time you sat down, your food was cold and the moment had passed and no one noticed. And the strange thing is, that felt normal. That felt like what you were supposed to do. There was a version of childhood. You watched other kids have the one where they came home and dropped their backpack at the door, and someone asked how their day was. You had a different version, the one where you walked in reading the room before you'd even taken off your shoes. You didn't grow up slowly. You grew up all at once. You are the one who handles things, not because you were asked to, because waiting for someone to ask feels like a risk you can't take. So you plan ahead. You anticipate. You have already thought of the problem before anyone else has noticed there is one. You don't ask for help easily. It's not that you don't need it. It's that asking feels like proof of something you don't want to admit. When someone asks how you are, you answer quickly. Fine, good, busy, but good. The real answer, the one about the weight you're carrying, the exhaustion that lives behind your eyes, that one never makes it out. You don't cry in front of people. You might cry in the car alone after a day that was too much. And then you'll check your face in the rearview mirror, take a breath, and walk back in, because there's still dinner to make. You were never really given the chance to be the one who needed things, so you stopped being her. What happened to you has a name. Psychologists call it parentification. Parentification happens when a child takes on emotional or practical responsibilities that belong to the adults around her. Dr. Gregory Jurkovic describes it as a form of role reversal, where the generational boundary between parent and child effectively collapses. The child steps up. And her nervous system learns that too. My needs come last. My feelings are the ones that wait. When a child grows up constantly attuned to the emotional state of the adults around her, her stress response calibrates itself around vigilance. A shift in tone, a silence that feels different from other silences, a face that is almost fine but not quite. This hypervigilance was genuinely useful. It kept you safe. It helped you navigate unpredictability. But hypervigilance does not turn off when the threat is gone. It travels with you into adulthood, into friendships, into relationships. You are always scanning, always managing, always 3 steps ahead, because 3 steps ahead is where you learn to live. The self-sufficiency, the competence, the calm under pressure, these are not weaknesses. They are skills you built young under real pressure. But they come at a cost. The cost is that you never fully learned how to receive, how to need, how to let someone else carry it for a while. You didn't choose this, and the adults around you, most of them, didn't choose it either, not consciously. They were struggling with things of their own. You were not parentified because you were too capable. You were given too much too young because the adults around you were not able to see that a child should not have to carry that. That is not your fault. It never was. But here is what it left you with: a deep and unexamined belief that your value lives in your usefulness. If you actually stopped and let yourself fall apart a little, something terrible would happen. Someone would be disappointed. Something would break. So you learned to keep moving, because stillness, for you, was never safe. Stillness was where the feelings were. The girl who learned to manage everything, she was not broken. She was brilliant. She built something extraordinary out of very little. And now you are an adult woman carrying her inside you, still scanning, still managing, still putting yourself last with the quiet efficiency of someone who has been doing it her whole life. The work is not to undo what she built. The work is to let her know she can rest now. that the emergency is over. There is, finally, room for her to be the one who needs something. When you let yourself say, "I'm not okay," to someone safe, when you let someone else handle the thing without checking their work, when you sit with the feelings instead of outrunning them. It starts with noticing, and you have already started. What is the earliest memory you have of taking care of someone else's feelings instead of your own? How old were you, and did anyone ever notice what that cost you? If this resonated, our next video goes somewhere close to this psychology of women who always feel guilty. Because for a lot of women who grew up too fast, guilt is the thing that never fully leaves. Watch it next.